The void of space stretched endlessly, a canvas of darkness speckled with burning stars, each a silent witness to the events unfolding in their vast domain. The Galactic Warzone had long been a place of ceaseless conflict, a battleground where empires clashed and civilizations were torn asunder by forces beyond comprehension. The flames of war had raged across the nebulae and asteroid belts, consuming all in their path and leaving only ruins in their wake. Now a new force had arrived on the battlefield, something unseen, unheard of, unimaginable, a human warship, the first of its kind to ever set foot, or rather steal, upon the hallowed grounds of interstellar conflict, and its presence sent shockwaves through the void like a supernova tearing apart reality itself. The warship known as the ISS Retribution emerged from a rift in space, its engines humming with the energy of 1,000 stars, its hull battered yet defiant, gleaming in the eerie light of distant suns. Every sensor and scanner in the region flared to life as the warring factions turned their attention to the intruder. Confusion and disbelief rippling through the ranks of seasoned warriors who had never before encountered such a vessel. For centuries, the Galactic Warzone had been dominated by the ancient races of the cosmos, the proud and ruthless Zelther Dominion, the cunning and elusive Varnaxi clans, the relentless and unyielding automaton legions. All had fought for dominion over these star systems, and all had thought themselves the ultimate power until now. The ISS Retribution did not falter as it accelerated into the battlefield, its weapons locked onto the nearest combatants. Its crew, hardened by years of warfare on distant worlds, stood ready at their stations, their eyes reflecting the light of control panels and holographic displays. The captain, a veteran of countless terrestrial battles, stared at the incoming data, his mind racing with calculations and battle strategies. His orders rang through the ship with the force of a thunderstorm, and the first volley was fired. Beams of raw energy lanced through the darkness, carving through enemy hulls like a blade through flesh. Explosions erupted in the vacuum, shockwaves rippling outward as ships of alien design were torn apart in an instant. Cries of alarm filled the comm channels as the warring factions realized they were no longer alone in their struggle. They had thought themselves the pinnacle of warfare, the ultimate masters of destruction, and yet here in their own domain an unknown force had arrived and in moments had altered the very balance of power. The Zelther Dominion reacted first, their fleet shifting formation, their flagship a monstrous construct of metal and plasma, moving to intercept the intruder. A transmission crackled through the void, a voice deep and resonant, filled with the arrogance of an empire that had never known defeat, declaring that humanity had no place in this war, that the Retribution was an abomination, that it would be destroyed and forgotten like the countless other challengers who had dared to face them. But the humans did not respond with words, they responded with fire. A barrage of missiles and energy bursts cascading toward the Zelther fleet, tearing through shields, rupturing hulls, sending debris spiraling into the abyss. The Dominion fleet reeled from the impact, their once impenetrable formation breaking apart as panic took hold. The Varnaxi clans observed from the shadows, their sleek vessels drifting along the edges of the battlefield, their leaders whispering among themselves, calculating their next move. They had long relied on deception and subterfuge, weaving elaborate plots to undermine their enemies without ever engaging in direct combat. Yet now they watched as the humans defied all known strategy, brazenly charging into the heart of battle with a force that could not be ignored. A new player had entered the game, and the old rules no longer applied. The automaton legions, cold and unfeeling, registered the arrival of the human warship as nothing more than a change in tactical variables, their artificial minds calculating probabilities, analyzing threat levels. Adapting to the unexpected presence, they unleashed their drones, swarms of metallic constructs, surging forward with mechanical precision, their weapons calibrated to dissect and eliminate the intruder. Yet the Retribution stood its ground, its defensive systems flaring to life, automated turrets tracking and annihilating incoming hostiles. The ship moved with the grace of a predator, each motion precise, each strike devastating. The automaton forces had never encountered such an opponent, and their algorithms struggled to adjust to the unpredictable nature of human warfare. The battle raged on, growing fiercer. With each passing moment, the Retribution became the eye of the storm, its weapons carving a path through the chaos, its shields absorbing wave after wave of enemy fire, its crew relentless in their resolve to prove that humanity was not to be underestimated. The Galactic Warzone, a place of endless suffering and destruction, had never seen anything like this, a single vessel standing against the might of civilizations that had ruled the stars for millennia. And yet the outcome remained uncertain, for though the humans had made their shocking arrival known, the war was far from over, and the true test of their strength had only just begun. As the battle reached its zenith, a piercing signal echoed through the void. An unknown force, yet greater than all present, surged forth from the depths of space, massive constructs of an origin unknown, drifting from the void, their structures ancient yet pulsing with unfathomable power. The warring factions ceased fire for a moment, their eyes drawn to the new arrivals, a presence that had lain dormant for eons, watching, waiting, biding its time. The Retribution's crew braced for what was to come, the enemy before them now dwarfed by the unfathomable might that loomed beyond, and in that moment humanity realized that their war was no longer against mere empires and machines, but against forces that had shaped the stars themselves. And as the first tendrils of this ancient power reached out, the war zone was engulfed in a maelstrom that would forever change the fate of the galaxy.